Hi, I'm Tom Jacob with Kino Flo Lighting Systems here in Burbank, California, and I'm here today to talk to you about the 4-bank Tegra. You're probably already well familiar with the 4-foot 4-bank system that Kino Flo's made for many years. It's been a standard product now for a long time. A key element to film, video, and still photography, known worldwide to be used by DPs, gaffers, lighting directors. However, now we've come up with a new integrated version, thus the name Tegra, and I want to show you all the features that are different from the 4-foot 4-bank and some of the advantages and changes we've made to improve this product. The Tegra, you'll notice right away, has the ballast built into the system, and versus the tethered and separated ballast that we use are called remote ballast. It is also a universal ballast or universal power supply. This allows you to use it anywhere in the world. It will automatically detect from 100 to 240 volts. So therefore you can use it in Japan, Australia, London, United States, for instance. The one thing you'll need to be aware about is the plug. And that is, if you go with a 110 version, 120 version, it'll have a 3-prong Edison. If you want a 230 version, you can simply order that style and it'll have the 2-prong European style version on the plug. And you can just adapt either one as necessary. Perhaps you might want to think about where you use it most, out of the United States or within the United States. So you can order it accordingly. So you might want to think about where you'll be using it most and where it's more favorable to you. Another feature of this power supply is it is power factor corrected. Therefore, it only takes half the energy that the standard 4-bank does. Standard 4-bank runs at about 5 amps. This one runs at about 2.5 amps. So another great advantage, you can put more fixtures again into a standard outlet and really be able to have fantastic broad, beautiful light. So if you're using a polarizing filter or perhaps a lens that absorbs a lot of light, or you're using a lens adapter, which might take you down a stop or two, now you could have 2 4-banks that will allow you the same power consumption but give you enough light to work at a higher f-stop. Another different feature here on the Tegra from the standard 4-bank, which has switches on the ballast individually, there's a main power switch inline, which you're probably familiar with the Diva light. You simply turn on and off power inline now. So as to the standard 4-foot 4-bank, with the tethered ballast, you have individual switches and a high-low switch right on the ballast. In this case, we've put the switches integrated into the ballast on board. So again, we still believe very strongly in continuity and color correction. And so this instrument also has 4 individual switches so that you can raise or lower the output while keeping color consistency on set. And you simply switch each lamp individually, and you still have, again, that individual lamp capability. I'd like to elaborate a little bit more on the color control and why we favor the individual switching on our fixtures. That is because a color shift can be an issue, especially on a film set. Don't see them as much, but there are a lot of films still being shot today, and we want to be able to have that continuity and color correction even throughout. So now you can raise or lower your output simply by turning on or off one of the lamps, or bulbs are referred to. Fluorescent lights are affected by ambient temperature. So if it's very hot in the room, they can warm up and go green. And adversely, if they're cooled down, they would go more magenta, because that green shift can be changing up and down. So what you want to do is be able to just turn off one lamp and lower your output without changing the continuity of the color of the room. So in addition to the switching, we have also now dimming on the Tegra. So therefore, it will incorporate a color shift. This gives you the advantage to either switch bulbs and stay consistent in that regard, or you can dim it down and white balance to that color if that's a preferable way to shoot. This way we cover the film aspect and the digital world at the same time. Now the Tegra has switching and dimming. This way it can be used in multiple applications. For film, you would use the individual lamp control so you keep your color consistency on set once you've done your 18% gray configuration, and you want to keep that continuity from set to set. Perhaps you may be shooting on multiple stages and things like that. With dimming and digital, you have the ability to white balance, so you can actually dim the fixture. You can dim it as a complete system with all the lamps on, or you can, however many lamps you do have on, it will dim those lamps accordingly. And then again, you can white balance and take advantage of the lower output there. So this really gives an advantage to both the film side and the digital side. Another application is for the HDSLR. Not only are more people moving to still photography with continuous light, but also these HDSLRs, of course, incorporate video. Therefore, dimming can be an advantage there because you have white balance capability. Now let me show you how the dimming system works on the Tegra. There is an onboard dimmer knob over here on the end, right by the switches, and you can dim from full all the way down to 0 and back. There also are some hash marks so you can have some reference if you have a in-between area you'd like to dim, and then match it to your other instruments, other Tegras perhaps. The other way to dim is the DIM5 remote module, which is also currently being used with the Diva and the Parabeam. You simply plug this in to the dimmer input, and then you can use the dimmer knob on here. It's exactly the same type of knob, and you would roll it down to 0 or up to full. Also notice the Tegra again integrates the mount on the standard 4x4 or 4x4 bank. We now have the universal mount which goes in and locks in, and it's the same on all of those particular style fixtures. But those are the remote fixtures. This being integrated with the Tegra, it's built onto the fixture similar to the Diva light and the Parabeam. It has the universal ball joint. It's also angled like the Diva, which will allow you to then hang the fixture if you wish.
For more information, please visit our website at www.digitalcinemacourse.com.
That was the 4-bank Tegra from Kino Flo Lighting Systems, and thank you for watching Digital Cinema Course.